Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you wanna know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won. For all things Miami, it's Dolphins Thursday.
Good morning on Legal Tampering Monday to all you FinSup fans, Miami Dolphin fans. You guys rock on this marvelous Monday morning. So there's always some Miami Dolphin news, and let's get to it. We've signed a couple guys back to the team. One is Nik Needham will be returning. Good news to Miami Dolphins fans. A healthy Nik Needham is a big asset to this team. It's going to be happy to have him back. Robert Jones has also inked a deal with the Miami Dolphins to return. As we've already discussed the other players earlier, and those are newer ones since my last show that are going to be rejoining our Miami Dolphins. So that's always a lot good to see. Let me give some good mornings. Shannon Needham, big fins up to you. I was just mentioning Nik Needham returning to the Miami Dolphins for the 2024 season, as well as Robert Jones. Just report that Terron Armstead may restructure his contract. We will see if that comes to fruition. As you know, the legal tampering period begins full throttle at noon today. Dolphins are technically still over the cap, which they have to get under by the new league year on March 13th. So they got a lot of work to do. We will see if anything gets leaked out with the Dolphins today, because they can still talk to people, but they have to get under. They have to know that they have to be able to get under the cap, whoever they talk to today, or it could all fall apart, from my understanding. So that'll be interesting. As far as another Dolphins, to me, it's looking more and more like Kristen Wilkins is going to get huge money to play somewhere else this year. Xavier Howard has closed the door on the Dolphins' return, he said on the Joe Rowe show last week. So those are a couple big names that don't seem to be returning to the Miami Dolphins. AVG, Andrew Van Ginkel, may or may not return, but his money may get really big on the outside market as too, because as we all know, that he plays well. So there could be a lot of competition for him. Drew Rosenhaus, of course, being an agent, is going to play it up on both sides to get as much money possible. He says he believes Andrew Van Ginkel is his client, will have strong entrance, in the free agency period, which is true. He's going to have strong interest. But he still says there's mutual interest between Van Ginkel and the Dolphins coming back. But the Dolphins have to free up a lot of money in that situation prior for that becoming reality. Hey, Kings, Dolphins, Michael K, Shannon again, big fins up to you. Crazy Dolphin in the house. Good to see all you guys. Orchid Park was in the house earlier. And who else? I think I got you all for right now. Guys, it's all free and fun. Smash that thumbs up button. Throw a Dan Marino laser past that thumbs up button. It helps, and it's free. So there's a lot of things to talk about around the NFL today. It's going to be interesting. Russell Wilson is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. A guy from Michael K's favorite team, Mitch Morse, is now with the Jags. So some of these teams are making moves like the Dolphins did in getting Jonnu Smith because these guys have been released. They're able to sign before any legal tampering period begins. So these guys have already signed elsewhere. I know some people are saying the Dolphins should go and look at Bobby Wagner because him and I guess Seattle aren't going to be able to agree on a contract. So once again, he's going to be hitting the free agent market. So that's another name out there that Dolphin fans have always loved, and we do need help at linebacker, so I get it. Hey, Cap for life, big fins up to you. Should be interesting, Cap for life. That's going to be because to get that motion, we got to start doing our own motion by getting under. We can talk to people and do all that, but we better be under by the league year on 2 days from now. So we see what comes out starting at noon Eastern Standard Time today. It's been illegal because we all know that they've been talking to each other way before this. I mean, it's not a well-kept secret that during the combine, all these agents and general managers and players, they're all talking, even though it's not really talking, but they're talking. So it's a well-known fact out there that goes on. But today's the day they can actually, not hide it and discuss it openly starting at noon today. You start getting stories about who's visiting where, who's talking to who, what players are talking to what teams, and all of that. And there's a lot of teams with a lot of money to spend. Our Dolphins are not one of them right now. It could change quickly with some players getting cut and restructuring of other contracts. So things can move quickly. They're going to have to move. The Dolphins have to get under the cap by the 13th. And they've been adding to the cap instead of subtracting the past couple of days. Like I said, they got Nik Needham. They got Nik Needham in the fold, Robert Jones in the fold. They got Jonnu Smith in the fold. So now it's time to start trimming some of that money off. And some of those players that we may be seeing going are guys that has contributed to the Dolphins over the past year or so. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play it. I think it's more of a Dollar Tree thing, Cap. I really do believe this is more of a Dollar Tree thing this year. And not by choice, because we know our owner and front office would love to make a big splash. I mean, they could, but at the cost of what? Like they were discussing on the Joe Rose this morning today. Would you rather have one player at one huge contract, or maybe three or four quality players that can come in and contribute to the team? So that's another factor you got to throw in there, because if you sign the huge contract, it means you're going to be weaker at other positions. So that's another thing. I'd rather have 3 or 4 guys that can come in and contribute to a football team than one big shiny new Ferrari sitting in the parking lot. Looks good, but it's not very practical when you want to take the whole family on a vacation. And we got to do a lot of moving around to get under the cap. It would kind of be silly to throw it all at one guy when you're working so hard just to get under the cap. And when you got obvious needs at a few positions, and I'm trying to act like a pro, but my dog's down here begging to get on my lap. Sorry, Chase, you're going to have to wait a minute. And then, so it's going to be interesting, Cap. That's a big question, though. Is it a Dollar Tree, or is it you're walking into one of those high-end stores and those high-end malls that I can't even think, like, I'm so out of touch on the fancy new stores. I'll probably say something that's not even popular anymore. But you all know the fancy malls with the high-end stores. We're probably shopping in the Dollar Tree, and still get good players. But in terms of NFL salary structure, yeah, you're talking more of the bargain bin guys that maybe have been cut by other teams, or cut just because of their high salary. Or a guy towards the end of his career that wants maybe 1 or more 2 years out of the career, and that kind of guy. Hey, Aqua Vision, I'm happy, Shannon, that Nik is ready, because I say a healthy Nik Needham is one of the best nickelbacks in the NFL, and I'm not over exaggerating. Last year is not a good example of his ability because he was coming off an Achilles. Didn't get much playing time. I'm looking forward to him in a new system, ready to rock and roll with a new defensive coordinator, I should say, over maybe a whole new system. But I'm looking forward to it. And Robert Jones is another guy. Is he going to rock the fan world? Is everyone going to say, oh my God, we signed Robert Jones. This is the greatest move. Get ready, New Orleans. Here we come. No, but it's a solid signing that you need on a roster. He's proved he can be a solid backup. And if we don't sign Robert Hunt, he could very well end up being in competition for the starting right guard position. So there's going to be another interesting move there. I really still believe, though, the Dolphins are going to go heavy on the offensive line between the draft and maybe picking up some guys. It's just a constant flow of position there that you really need because, Armstead's towards the end of his playing career. So, you're going to need left tackle help in the near future. And he doesn't always play all the games, as we know, unfortunately. When he's in there, he's among the best, but he's not. Left guard, supposedly Isaiah Wynn is still working out in the building at the Dolphins facility. So hopefully they can work something out where he can come back and be, if he's healthy, if he can contribute to the team next year. He was playing well when he got hurt with the quad injury and missed the rest of the season. So he's another possibility. Center is another possibility. Like I said, Morse is off the board. So that guy's off. I know Carolina released some guy. Sorry, I didn't write his name down and it's escaping me right now. So that name's out there. Hey, Adam and Shake Money. Big boom. He's a diamond in the rough. OL made all. Yes, I think so. Let's see. I hope the Dolphins take a look at. Elijah Klein from UTEP. He's a diamond in the rough. Hey, I take your eyes for that, Shannon. You know your football, so I believe you, and I know you know that school in that area well. So I take your word for it. Let's see. Crazy Cap for Life. What's good? All you guys are being nice to each other in the house, which I love to see. It's awesome. I may open it up here in a little while for the whole thing, as long as we keep it nice and friendly. But as far as those are the main things we said. It will be interesting to see if they rework Terron Armstead's contract, see how much cap that frees up. You guys can tell me if anything's happening while I'm talking here today. See if they make any big moves as I'm talking, if they're cutting the salary cap, or are they not really worried until the real legal, not legal tampering, but the new league year starts. Maybe they're not worrying about being under it until then. But I kept on thinking maybe Jeff Wilson's going to be cut because it frees up money. And I don't know. Not saying I want these guys to be cut, but unfortunately, the cap, you got to be under it, and by Wednesday. So some guys that we like may have to either be reworked contract or released altogether. And I don't know the philosophy of waiting till the last minute. I'm looking for the Barry Jacksons of the world now and all these guys to see if anyone's being cut as we speak. But I don't know. It's hard to say. So if you guys see anything, let me know. Hey, Shannon, thank you for coming in. And again, so happy that Nik is back with our Miami Dolphins. I really am. Not just saying that because you're in the room. I just really think he's a good fit for this team and helps a football team be good. And when healthy, he does very well. And I think a lot of fans forget that when players get hurt, how good they were before they got hurt. So I can't wait. My next lunch, Lady Davis, Michael Key, what's good? Great. Adam in the house. Your Panthers are still kicking butt. Every time I see your logo there, your Florida Panthers are playing awesome. I still got to get to a game one of these days. They're so close to me. Really do. They're so next to me here. But as far as the whole NFL goes and everything. Oh, and you guys can see I'm probably doing because my college kid from the University of Florida is home on spring break this week. So I'm not in my normal room because I normally take over his room while he's away at college. So I'm out in the family room here, the living room area, but all is good in the hood. I still had to talk about Miami Dolphins on legal tampering Monday. And that's it. I'm going to open it up to you guys. If any of you guys want to come into the room, and we will see what your thoughts are, what moves you think should be done, and what you would do if you were the general manager of the Miami Dolphins. What contracts are you looking to move on from, bring back? Any predictions that you guys want from outside the market that are free agents? And that, like, and maybe not even a particular name, but positions. Is it going to be offensive line? We've already kind of touched the tight end position. So I don't really see much more movement in that unless someone comes to you in the draft in one of the rounds that looks like a bargain. But you also got linebacker needs, and you got a whole bunch of needs on this Miami Dolphins team. So the link's been dropped, guys. We will boom. So St. Money's prediction that the Bills will not win a Super Bowl. Yet again, they will be left out of the Super Bowl picture. A little fun there at Michael K, I'm sure. But yes, well, everyone in the AFC is really outside of Kansas City. A lot of teams are in that same boat. It seems Cleveland Browns are going to be much better this year. That's a tough division out there, man. They got the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow coming back, Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson. I don't know if that moves the needle for anyone. But, I think Russell Wilson wins a starting job out there, or it's time for him to hang up the cleats probably if he can't beat out Kenny Pickett. And, oh, my God, the other guy's name escaped. But what's the backup for Tomlin right now? Not me, from Tomlin's team, the Steelers. But anyway, I think they will he will win that starting position. So Russell Wilson. Oh, Mac Jones is no longer with the Patriots, as you guys know. He went to the Jaguars. And he will be the backup to Trevor Lawrence there. And I say probably good news because he knows he's not going to be the starter. Just take that backup role, and you can make a lot of money over the years being a backup, just staying as a backup. So no pressure on him. He goes there, but at least it ends that talk about whether Mac Jones was better than Tua and whatever. So, hey, at least that's always a thing. Should be interesting to see if, Zach Wilson gets any love on any team anywhere else in the future. If, because it's obviously his time with the Jets doesn't seem to be going well. So, Trevor Lawrence from you see. Trevor Lawrence from U of Kentucky and Isaiah Major from excuse me, guys. Like I said, I'm still overcoming a cold I had last week. So it's been a battle, but I had to talk Dolphins football today. Trevor Lawrence from U of Kentucky and Isaiah Major from Florida A&M for inside linebackers. I would take your word on it, Crazy Dolphin. And the Dolphins need definitely help at inside linebacker. As you know, Jerome Baker's no longer a linebacker with the Miami Dolphins. Can they bring him back? Yes. But he's going to probably test, he's going to be able to test that open market, and we'll see if anyone goes after him and gets more money than what the Dolphins can give him. And Jerome Baker, he's always been like a hot ticket item in Dolphin fans. A lot of Dolphin fans love to pick on Jerome Baker. But he has played for us for a long time, gave us his all. But yes, the Dolphins are moving on from him by all intent and purposes, unless he re-signs at a lower number than what he was going to cost us previously. So Michael K is throwing a little shade back at Shake Money. We have something in common for different reasons. Neither of the teams we follow will be playing. While Bills don't become, they will have the bye. Because, oh my goodness, we gotta see. Bye. Michael K. I don't know what you're thinking, but hey, we'll see. T. Higgins requests a trade that's from Shake Money. I'm glad Baker is gone from Tyshawn. Hey, like I said, I know he's just a name that some people liked, some people didn't. But yes, it seems like a lot of people are happy that we moved on, especially from the contract of Baker, because we were going to owe him a lot of money, the Dolphins were this year. So I get it. He had his moments. So, to me, it's always hard to kind of see the long tenured players leave. But at the end of the day, it's a business. And this business this time is really tough on the Dolphins because they're way over the cap. Last I checked, there were still like 20 after the recent signings. They were like 20 something. And that was this morning on over the cap. I don't know if they've done anything this morning that I've missed as far as trimming fat from the roster, which I'm hoping they do now. And you guys keep on telling me that because like Chris Jones, Chris Jones, I was going to touch on that. He got huge money. I know Wilkins probably won't touch that amount, but it does kind of set the market, and he's probably going to get a lot of money on that end right there. So right now the Dolphins are over the cap at $23 million, according to over the cap space, and effective cap space $30 million over. So they got lots of work to do. Good morning, True Blazer. And Michael Shake Money comes back with Michael K. That's some funny beep. Buffalo will barely win a division if they win, let alone by a bye week. Thanks for the laugh. That's Shake Money. I agree kind of with Shake on this take. Dolphin, of course, that's my unbiased agreeing. I have no reason to agree with Shake on that take. I'm just being fair and impartial. Dolphin Gang Entertainment. Oh, changing the name up, GG Live. But guys, that is George of GG Live. I don't know if that's his whole new name now. Dolphin Gang Entertainment. Good stuff. He puts out really cool videos. Go check them out. And he's on my channel on the Fins Talk Sports Network every so often as well. Really cool guy. Big Dolphin fan, guys. Loves breaking down draft prospects and all of that stuff as well. So really cool stuff. Let's see. Baker and X gave us some good seasons, but glad to move on. Yeah, I know. It is true. Especially Xavier Howard. He had a really good run there for a while, but it's time to move on. His money was going to really be a hindrance. Can't really spend that money we freed up with him yet because that doesn't come off the books until June 1st. So it's going to be interesting to see what other moves they make before then to get under the cap by Wednesday. That's why I keep on waiting. That's the thing I'm kind of surprised that we've signed some of the guys we've signed because they must know, though. I don't think they're signing these guys without knowing how they're getting to that money. So you're probably looking at restructures contracts, maybe again for Tyreek. Maybe just restructure where Terron Armstead actually takes less money instead of like pushing the money down the road, maybe. But I don't know. Or because he was guaranteed a lot of money coming in. So I don't know how much he's really going to want to restructure. Because I think he's set to make 18 million this year and like 14 million if it was. So he wasn't going to walk away from that. So maybe if they could just give him the 14 and you save 4 million or whatever, just stick him with his guaranteed money, then you can spread that out. That's going to be another interesting fact on that. I don't know, man. I'm really surprised they haven't gotten under the cap yet, that they're waiting. I know they don't have to be by league rules until Wednesday, but I would have thought they would allow themselves a little time to mess around today, which I guess they can still mess around today. But like I said, you're just going to keep on going over and over until you cut that big fat right away. I don't know what they're waiting for on that end because I don't see it unless they got something in the works that we don't know. That's, to me, is the surprising point of this. Chris Kerr continues to say he's not concerned about it. And he's proven he's not concerned about it because he's adding to it over the past few days, which is fine because you can be way over it right now. It doesn't matter. But by Wednesday, your butt better be under that cap. Hey, Franklin Stubbs. Big fins up to you. Every time I see you, Franklin Stubbs, I think of this is going to age myself. Probably no one even is in here old enough to remember. There was a Stubbs that played for the Miami Hurricanes many moons ago. He was a really good sack guy on the college level. So every time I see that name, I just think about it. Oh, guys, let's see. I'm trying to find anything new to talk about, man. But I know you guys on the Miss Finn show today, you guys covered all those great topics. If one of you guys want to come into the room, more than fine. Like I said, I dropped the link. Dolphin Gang. So is that your new whole official name now, George? You're no longer GG Live with an extra E, or you just it's all good though. Oh, awesome. Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's a pretty cool name though, actually. No problem, Franklin Stubbs. I think his name was Daniel Stubbs, right? Or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, Daniel Stubbs. I'm looking it up right now. He played for the University of Miami back in the day. That's who I remember, man, every time I see it up. Anything else? I'm trying to look, guys, for names. Not on my A game today. I've been battling this cold, something Ferris. But I didn't want to miss legal tampering Monday. It's always a fun day in the NFL. Another reason that the NFL shows its king. We're in the middle of hockey season, baseball spring training getting going, basketball. But what's everyone talking about? NFL football in March. The NFL is king of kings in the professional sports realm here in America. Now, if you want to go worldwide, of course, soccer would win that battle probably. But here in the United States of America, the NFL is definitely king of the land. Because, like I say, it's like legal tampering day. It's like, oh, let's throw an extra day in there a few years back when they added legal tampering instead of just the starter. Let's throw a legal tampering one extra day to get news in the NFL. Why not? You know, they could make up any day in the league and they would be all over it. And it just shows that's why they're the kings. Because what other draft around the league gets as much attention as the NFL draft? What free agency period creates a legal tampering period and everyone's all bonkers sitting on their phone refreshing to see if their team's like talking to anyone. It's the NFL is king and I give them credit for it. Yes, it's a great sport, but the way they market it, the way they handle it, the way they just give people the stuff they want, they know how to rock. And it's going to be a hard time for a sport to replace NFL as king. Yeah, we still got the same special teams coach. Mr. Crossman is still with our Miami Dolphins. And we even brought back Jake Bailey. I was surprised with the Jake Bailey coming back. I tweeted out in front, hey, at least Jason said people took it and ran with it. And then I saw people retweeting it like it was like really the big thing. So I said, hey, that doesn't happen too much. I come up with something that someone, and I just kind of said it in jest that Jason Sanders, because Jason Sanders did say that Jake Bailey was a great holder at some interview I heard last year. He says he's comfortable with him and he's helped him get back in a groove. And I just tweeted that out there. And some people, of course, were like, oh, really? That's it. That's the reason we signed him. But yeah, Jake Bailey was kind of a surprise, honestly. But I mean, really, are we going to squabble over a punter that hopefully doesn't even have to punt that often? Hopefully his biggest job is holding on extra points. So that's the main reason I don't really call it that big. It's an affordable contract. Bring him in. It is what it is. But Dolphins Twitter, hey, we will argue over anything on Dolphins Twitter. I tell you what, it is what it is. So it's all, and sometimes it's all in good fun. Evidently, I heard it was another big. I don't get into all of that. I don't even know the names involved. I saw people tweeting out this morning that there was another big fight among Dolphin content creators. Oh, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, none of us, I don't care if Shake Money comes on here and says something totally like what I disagree with. I have no more power than him. He has no more power than us. Neither one of us are getting calls from maybe Shake Money because he does live in the Jamuda. Maybe he does get calls from Chris Greer. But for the most part, Ross isn't calling us. Mike McDaniel's not calling us. Chris Greer. So what we think doesn't really matter at the end of the day. No, it's just for fun. It's supposed to be sports. And sometimes guys, and maybe some ladies, but it seems to be more of a guy thing that takes it a little too crazy, get mean with each other all over takes that our takes mean nothing. Nothing means nothing at the end of the day. I don't care if I say I want to sign blah, 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 and you guys think he's the worst ever. Unless they go sign him, does it really matter who I think they should go sign? Nope. Yeah, Zamuda. That's what he always said. See, George, he Shake Money, and you guys are all pretty much even kill. You can have your debates among people, but people don't take it too serious. And that's it, man. It's all about the Dolphin. That's all I care. It's all nothing we do, nothing we have to say. They're not going to watch a little Dolphins Thirsty small YouTube channel and say, "Oh my God, Rob thinks Chris Greer sucks. We're going to fire him." Or Rob thinks Chris Greer is the greatest general manager in the history of football. Let's give him a 20-year contract extension. Whatever I say about these guys doesn't matter. End of the day, all we can do is hope they build a team that actually wins a playoff game. That's it. That's where my level is right now. Playoff win. That's it. Not Super Bowl. Nothing right now. Do I want them to win the Super Bowl? Of course, every fan in their football mind wants their team to win the Super Bowl. But when you're the longest tenure of no playoff wins, this is start of that playoff win, right, guys? Winning a playoff win just sounds sweet right now to the ears of Miami Dolphin fans. I should have started the show afternoon. Maybe then we would have heard all the rumors and have a lot more to talk about. That would be really interesting to see. Of course, maybe I just break out with a live show of the Dolphins shock and there's like rumors or talking to someone. But I'm at this point just waiting to see who we're getting rid of instead of who we're adding at this point. That's where I'm at. I'm like, come on, guys. Napoleon was small. He conquered General small, but fear. Don't shortchange yourself, Thursday. You saving that. Thank you, Capman, you Brock. I appreciate it. End of the day, though, like I say, I'm just here for the fun. I do this for fun. Shake, and you guys come in here for fun. It's just a good time, man. It's all, and I understand, and I appreciate people's passion for the Dolphins. It's what's make our fan base special. But sometimes that passion goes a little overboard, and people start arguing over it like it's politics or we're talking about religion or something. Like, come on, guys, it's sports at the end of the day. It's supposed to get us away from the distractions of life that we have to go pay. And I still got to set up my accountant right now. I keep on forgetting, I'm trying to avoid because I have to pay this year. So it is what it is. So, you try to watch sports for the distraction. No reason to fight among Dolphin fans. We got enough Buffalo Bills fans like Michael K to argue with and argue among ourselves. So it's all good. I was losing for over 35. Miami, nothing new to me. Hey. Oh, it's all the effect for Greer after he passed on Drew Brees for a long day. Well, in all fairness to Greer, that was really before Greer had too much say in the Dolphins, Jay. He was Chris Greer was with the Dolphins. Chris Greer has been with the Dolphins since 2000. But on that one, that was like the Nick Saban era when we did that one. But we also passed on Drew Brees to take a Jamar Fletcher back in the draft when there was a whole bunch of rumors that the Dolphins were interested in Drew Brees in the draft, and Dave Wannstedt went and drafted. But yes, to me, Chris Grier has not done the job that he's been hired yet. But we can't throw him under for the Drew Brees. That was more on like Nick Saban, but he ended up blaming the medical staff for that and other people. And it's part of the reason why Nick Saban left the Dolphins, supposedly. But he only said that years later, to save face, I think. He was going to go to Alabama, probably, no matter what. The pros wasn't a fit for him. Legendary college coach, but the pros was not good for him on the head coaching level, it seemed. I support the Miami YouTube platform compared to the lack of Miami Dolphins media back in the 70s. Yeah. Oh, no, man. That's what I say. This is what makes it fun, man. When I grew up, in the 80s, I couldn't do this. The only thing I could listen to, I would have to wait for in my case, because I grew up in Dade County, I would have to wait for the Miami Herald the next morning to get my Miami Dolphins news. Listen to sports talk radio to get Dolphins stuff. And that's it, None of this where I can go get my voice heard, listen to your guys' voices. It's just how it goes. Hey, Miss Finns, I didn't see you sneak in. Oh, Newfoundland also snuck into the house. So all of you guys rock for coming in here. Oh, and a Donald Merriman from Facebook. Awesome. NFL should make Ross sell. He wants us to lose. I don't think he really wants us to lose, Donald, but yes, has he done the right things to help us win? No. So I will give you that. But he does spend. He's willing to, like all owners spend, but he's willing to rework contracts, kick that credit card down the line again, and do things like that. So he's willing to do. But yes, overall, he has not had any success as the owner of the Miami Dolphins. So I'm with you on that front. We've never won a playoff game with him as the owner. So it's hard to defend him too much. But I think he wants to win. That's all I will say. Hey, Ender. Big fins up to you. Thank you for coming in here. I don't argue. I was taught to not punch down. Oh, Michael K. Michael K. Let's see. Yes, they do, Cap. Taxes stink, but we all got to do them. That's why I say I want at least the Dolphins to win a playoff game. So we can't say, death, taxes, and the Miami Dolphins letting us down at the end of the season. That's like the ongoing joke. So hopefully we can at least get the Dolphins back to giving us some positive Decembers and Januaries, and life will be awesome. Dolphins Yard says, I'm calling my shot. I think Christian will sign for the team, not name the Miami Dolphins. Yes, I lean with you on that one, Dolphins Yard, unfortunately. Crazier things have happened. They could rework it, but I agree with you. The man's reached the point of free agency. Some team's going to be able to offer him a deal that he can't refuse, and it's just going to be probably too rich for the Miami Dolphins blood at this point. I hope we're both wrong, Dolphins Yard, but if I had to bet, I would definitely bet that Kristen Wilkins is wearing a different uniform come the 2024 NFL season. And I wish him luck. He brought nothing but heart to the Miami Dolphins, fun entertainment to the Dolphins, always does all the events, always at the Dolphins Challenge Canter, always running down to celebrate with his football team, whether it's on offense or defense or special teams. Great guy. He's the epitome of what you want in the team. I understand from the financial standpoint that he's going to want a bigger payday, and some team's going to give it to him. But like I say, hopefully I'm wrong, and I read later today they've trimmed all this money, and rumor are they're bringing him back. I just don't see it. Hey, Dolphin Don. Big fins up to you. Thank you for coming in. And Dolphin Don says, happy trails, Kristen Wilkins. So I think we're almost all under the understanding that Kristen Wilkins is no longer a Miami Dolphin. unless there's surprising news over the next couple of days. Within an hour and 20 minutes, we're already going to be having leaks of who's visiting where, who's talking where. And that's just it. Years past, we've had a lot of Dolphin news break on these legal tampering days. But I'm not so sure since if you guys see any names, like I say before I close out the show here in a few minutes, if you see any names that the Dolphins are moving on from before noon, so we have a little more money to play with, it will be interesting to see. I think they have to know, because you don't sign these people they've been signing unless you already know how you're getting under it. I don't understand the reason to delay it. If it's a strategic move, I don't know. Because just because you free up money doesn't mean you're going to tell the whole world, tip your hand to who you're going after. So I don't know. It's just very curious why they've waited to this point to get under the cap. They just want to keep us going. They just want to keep Dolphin fans going crazy. Chris Greer's probably sitting there not even worrying about it. But hey, I'm worrying about it. I want them to get under the darn cap so we can see what we got play money wise to bring in new talent. So yeah, just a lot of them Dolphin Yard, a lot of good fans in here today, including Newfoundland, who snuck into the yard, Dolphins Yard with WDMC. And you guys all are awesome, man. True Blazer, all you guys, if I didn't say your name, you know I think you're awesome. This is how we roll here at Dolphins Thirsty. I don't know if any of you guys have a show later today. Are you guys going to do anything of news break, Shake Money, or DG Live? If any of you guys do, come join for sure. Or I just do my own breaking news. But I don't know. I just don't see I hope the Dolphins throw me some big curveball today. And I'm like, holy moly, man. But, I don't see it coming. We should see, though. I just don't see it coming. But, hey, guess the NFL thrives on this stuff, man. The NFL thrives on this time of year just to extend, because you got the playoffs in January. Now the Super Bowl goes till February. So they're like, March, let's throw free agency in there. April, let's throw the draft in there. And then by the time May and June, maybe a couple of little OTAs or mini camps. And then before you know it, it's training camp all over again. So they are the kings. I know I already said it to start the show, but the NFL is kings at marketing. I just don't get it. Okay, there you go. That'd be a good one. Neil Driscoll and Reason hosting a Twitter space from 1:30 to 3 p.m. And that's good. That's right in the wheelhouse. We should already hear rumors by then, who's signing all around, who's negotiating with who. So I may give that a check out for sure. And we will see what's going on at that point. Like I said, it's an interesting day. No matter what, it's an interesting day. Even without our Dolphins having the cap space that they've had over the recent years, they're more up against it this year. But at the end of the day, it's still a fun day to be a Dolphin fan. See what they do on their own roster. See if they can possibly maybe talk to some other guys. Because they're allowed to talk to them because, like I say, they can negotiate, from my understanding. Even if they negotiate and put them way, their number is going to look like way over the cap, but those numbers don't count against the cap until Wednesday. So you can negotiate them. And that means the more you negotiate with those guys, the more trimming of the fat you got to do on your current salary cap structure. So they got lots of work to do on both sides on that end. So really interesting to see. Crazy Dolphin. Thank you. However, I can't call you Mr. Pope because we are close in age. It would be a little creepy. What did him? So this is good news from Dolphin Yard. I may check that out or see if any of you guys roll on YouTube. I know if Shake Money's probably working, but maybe someone in his channel would pop up on YouTube if there's any breaking news. They got a huge crew over there. I know Bobby Finch Talk normally will break in with breaking news of the Finch Talk Sports Network. if he sees anything, but I know he's probably working too. So we will see on that end. Guys, I'm about to call it a wrap. Like I said, I'm battling this cold today. And see, I didn't do that and it generated a cough. So we're good. I'm just, hey, Jamaican from Zion. Boom. In the house. They also re-signed some players. Yeah, we know the Dolphins did re-sign some of their own already, like I said. So that was good. That is good on that front that we keep some people around. The big names, though, those are the ones I'm not sure. And I would say the big names remaining that some people have a little bit of hope for, I think they're probably both gone. Andrew Van Ginkel and Wilkins. And because I think Xavier Howard more or less said he's closing the door. He said on the Joe Rose show at some point last week that door is closed. That's fine. To me, the Dolphins always took care of Xavier. So he's not one of the guys I feel like, oh man, we never gave this man his money. The Dolphins always took care of Xavier. If he wants to go to another new team, I know he's from the Houston area, so he may go sign with the Texans. Who knows? But at least I know the Dolphins took care of him over the years. So it's not like one of those players I'm like, oh my God, we got cheap and now he's went on and had a great career. The Dolphins always took care of Xavier Howard financially. So never gave him, always reworked his contract, always gave him money. And so for me, I wish him the best wherever he goes, except for when he plays our Miami Dolphins. And as far as Kristen Wilkins, I think it's just more of a matter of too much money he's going to get than what the Dolphins can play this year. Not any that they don't want him. Not that he doesn't even want to come back to Miami. Just a simple fact of financial wealth. He's going to get a lot more money to play for another team. That's just how the cookie crumbles when it comes to these NFL contracts. When you're up against the cap, and a lot of teams are flushed with money. They're rolling around in extra money this year with the cap even going high. And it's going to be tough to bring our guys back on that front. The best they can do, maybe bring Van Ginkel back, but I don't know. I think he's going to demand a lot on the open market too. And it's going to be tough to bring him back, which means edge rusher pops up to the top of that draft need or free agency need. And obviously it will not be someone on the level of his level even in free agency, because if we can't sign him, that means we can't sign someone better than him. So that's going to be tough to lose him. But overall, this Dolphin roster can still be built to win next year. They were built to win this year, and it fell apart. We all know. No reason to beat that dead horse anymore. We lost in December. Lost some of that mojo other than the good Dallas Cowboys game, which doesn't look as great anymore because they were a one and done in the playoffs as well. So, but at least we did beat Dallas towards the end of the season. So that's our one. But we never won a game after that, unfortunately. We got embarrassed by the Ravens and then got beat by Buffalo at our home. And then we lost in the freezing cold in Kansas City with a pretty much depleted defense. Kansas City went on to win the Super Bowl. I guess you can hold your hat on that, because I didn't think Kansas City would go into Buffalo and beat them, go into Baltimore and beat them, and they did. And that's why they're still the defending Super Bowl champs 2 years in a row now, because they're the big boys and they know how to win when the pressure's on the line. And that's where the Dolphins, they haven't taken that step. They don't know how to win when it's all on the line, when you're battle tested, you're beaten down, but you still go out there and you find a way to win. And that's what the Dolphins need to do moving forward. They just got to find that way to win in December, win in January, and hopefully get to play that game in February that caps the NFL season. So it's just been way too long since we've been able to have that taste of victory. December 30th, 2000, guys. December 30th, 2000 is the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game. So I think that's why we all get a little antsy, sometimes fight back with each other, because we all want the same thing. We just want the Dolphins to win. Simple as that. And I get it, but it is what it is, and it just hasn't happened. Let's see. We'll see if Wilkins appreciate all them A's Miami got on the report card and give him a. I don't know, Jay Stone. I don't know. As I said, maybe hard to give him. Maybe like Crazy or Newfoundland said, maybe they give us a chance to match it if it's a contract maybe that we didn't think would be as big as the Dolphins thought it was going to be. But I don't know if he will give a discount. Now, if it's all a thing from a team that has a lot of state income tax and he comes to Florida and then it equals out to be about the same. But most of the time, these players just want the higher contract because it's prestige. They want to show all their peers that, hey, I'm among the highest paid at my position because I went and I earned it. I'm one of the best at my position. So most of the time, they just take that higher contract. But hey, no matter what, I would never hate on Kristen Wilkins. He's brought a lot to this team. He may not be all pro status, but he's a very good player with heart, character, durable. Because we always complain in Dolphin land about guys missing. This guy plays all the time. He makes lots of tackles, improved his sacking this year. And he's probably going to get to that Pro Bowl, all pro status eventually. Very solid football player. But I understand the Dolphins' concerns of wanting to pay him over $20 million a year when you're already playing Tyreek, Ramsey, Chubb. You're going to owe Tua in the very near future. You may be able to get off cheap this year with Tua, but his contract's coming. So over the next few years, you're going to pay him. So I understand why they can't afford to pay Chubb all that money. And because they pay Armstead a lot of money, maybe he works his contract. Who knows? But they got a lot of top-heavy money with guys they already pay. So it's tough. No, I know. I don't think you're hating on him. I understand. Yep. He is. He's a good dude. Really good player. But the Dolphins just aren't going to be able to pay him. That's what I think at the end of the day. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep him in the house. And guys, talking about the house, I allow you to. I'm one of those dads and parents that let my kid play little catch in the house if it's a rainy day. Now they're big and golf. But, throw that Dan Marino laser pass at the thumbs up if you're on Facebook or YouTube. It helps me get found, this channel get found, and we get to all talk Miami Dolphins football. Always fun to see those thumbs up because it just helps the algorithm know that all that fancy talk, but it helps YouTube know, hey, this guy gets enough people liking him. He must be doing something right. Let's tell people to watch him, and you guys look up for Miami Dolphins football stuff. So that's it. I understand Canes Dolphins. I understand, man. I understand, and you probably kind of feel the same way for your Canes football team. It's been too long since both were prominent like they used to be back in the day. It's been too long. The Canes have done all this great recruiting and this and that, but until Mario Cristobal proves he's a great game day coach and wins on the field and doesn't decide to run when all you have to do is kneel on the ball, stuff like that, it's going to be hard to get into the Canes too. So it should be interesting, though. Both teams should be better, should be doing better when their records indicate. So it's tough. No, yes, yeah, you're right, Outback. Outback, Sealer was good. He was very good last year and put up great numbers. So I agree on that take. I like Zach Sealer. I do like them together. They're known as salt and pepper. But hey, sometimes you just have to, part ways. And it looks like we're parting ways with Mr. Wilkins. But hey. No, you're right, man. You're right, Outback. Sealer was great. Some people would say that he got help because of Kristen Wilkins, but I don't know. I think Sealer is a good player on his own right, and you can bring in still another. Hey, Cliff D, there's no playoff win in our near future. Oh, don't be the downer. Don't let that D, Cliff D, stand for down. And Cliff, Courtney will be back in the near future. She's just taking a break, but you did miss her Monday. If you want to go check that out, she was back for a minute. I mean, well, she did like an hour show, but she was back for a minute in the span of time. So that was fun. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up this show. Just remember, fins up to all of you. In about an hour from now, we're going to see, hopefully, news start leaking out. Who's tampering, who's talking, who's doing what. May not be a lot of Dolphin stuff in the news, but you never know. You never know. We may get some nuggets as early as today start leaking out, and I will look for all your guys' content coming out. Can't wait. I know, Cliff D, she just wanted to take a little bit of a break from the shows. So, but she'll be back. I think she might still do some basketball stuff on the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm not sure, but she wanted to take a break from her own show here on this channel, but she will be back. I in constant talk with her all the time. So she says when there's more content, and at some point she will start doing it again. So it's going to be interesting. Guys, oh, Michael K. Listen, the Dolphins may have fallen apart, but you know what? You guys should want that next level at this point for your own team, because you've taken that next step where you're like a step ahead of us, but you don't get it done totally in the playoffs to reach the Super Bowl. So you should want that next step, because I did not see Kansas City going in and knocking you guys out on your home turf in the playoffs. So it is, yes, she is dealing with that drama, and that's why hey, Raphael Courtright, by the way, thank you for dropping in and knowing that like button. Thank you, sir. But yes, we do all have that. Thank you, Crazy Dolphin. All you guys, again, I have to find out my closeout video. You guys rock. Fins up. Let's hope we see some good Miami Dolphin news today. It should be a fun day around the NFL. An hour and 3 minutes from now, we should be seeing all kinds of, a little bit later in the day, we should be seeing all the rumors break, who's visiting who, what agents are talking to who. Always fun. I always look forward to it. Guys, you rock. Dolphins #1. Thank you, guys.
Dolphins thirsty, they never show no mercy. On the field or in the game, Miami knows how to play. Dolphins thirsty, we all get down and dirty. Tell you what you want to know, it's the Dolphins Show. Quench your thirst for all things Miami Dolphins. They are the football kings, cause they play to win. Come on in and have some fun, whether we have lost or we have won for